First off, before we start going, I would like to say a big thank you to the Hello Tomorrow team. We're very happy to be here. Now, I want to tell you about change. As a species, we have come very far. 600 years ago, this guy had a startup. Now, the paper you're holding in your hand may not seem glamorous, but 600 years ago, that was a big deal. This guy passed from the age of Enlightenment, the Renaissance, and democratized it. That step led us here. He didn't make a lot of money from it. Now, 60 years ago, in the Valley, Federico Faggin and his team, they developed the first processor. It was called the Intel 4004 processor. It has just 2,800 transistors in it. That step is inside the mobile phone you have here, inside that camera. But we have a problem. As we have more and more of these devices, they're everywhere. The energy consumption is insane. And contrary to what you might see on TV, as a species, we're doing great. The number of people pulled out of poverty in the last 10 years, it's impressive. Now, that number will keep going up. IoT, smart devices, robotics, you name it. And Moore's law is coming to an end. So that begs the question, what are we going to do? Now, our company has a simple proposition, and that proposition is this: biology is technology.
Yeah.
Biology is technology. Again, biology is technology. Now, if you don't believe that, inside your head, your brain is more powerful than the Tiahe 2 computer, which consumes 24 megawatts of energy. To simulate a brain, you will need a nuclear power plant costing you $1 billion to run it. And inside your brain, you can run that for 10 watts. And it's able to store the entire Library of Congress catalog. And that is a conservative estimate. The dragonfly can fly with just 16 neurons. 30 milliseconds, 95% success rate. And of course, there is the lunar moth, my favorite. This little moth can detect a mate up to 11 kilometers away. Now, I challenge the silicon guys to build a device with that form factor that is able to perform at the same level. Now, our proposition again is simple. Biology is technology. We propose to combine silicon technology and biology together for sensing, control, and computation. My name is Osh Agabi. I'm the founder, CEO of Koniku. We're a company based in the Silicon Valley. We believe that value proposition of being able to combine synthetic biology with cells and processors will far outstrip anything our species has ever seen. That is our big vision. Now, our company is a year old, but the work we have done here is 14 years old. I have studied at ETH in Zurich and at Imperial College in London. I have a wonderful team behind me, and you will get to meet them later. Now, 3 key technologies we have covered. First, can we take neurons, biological cells, and can we structure them? Can we structure them like it is in the brain? Second, can we connect to individual neurons with a high signal-to-noise ratio, thereby be able to read information from them and write information into them? Third, can we keep the neurons alive? And lastly, we build a community around it because in the end, it's about people. I'm happy to announce we just concluded our first developer conference. And for the first time, I'm announcing our second developer conference, which is happening in summer of next year in the Valley. And we have gone ahead and done exactly that. On the right-hand side, you will see what we call the Neuron shell. That is a 3D lithography system that allows us to place individual neurons in their shell, thereby be able to control the connectivity between individual neurons. Second is the signal we get from the neurons, for example. Let me see if that plays. No, it doesn't play. So in the middle, you would have seen a video of spikes streaking across the screen. And thirdly, can we keep these neurons alive? Currently, we're able to keep neurons alive outside of the body, outside of an incubator for 6 months. Now, our first market is sensing. And what we have done here is essentially take neurons, deliver chemicals to them, and use these neurons to fly a drone. That means, for the first time, you can impact a biological capability to a machine. This drone will be able to smell chemicals up to 1 kilometer away, and that can only get better. At the core of it, we're a wetware company. Our core value proposition is the ability to merge biology with silicon technology. As a company, we focus on doing just that. And we open up everything else to a developer community. And this developer community will develop add-ons, proteins, and abilities to detect nitrous oxide for asthma, for instance, drug development. But in the end, we're a business. Everybody must come back to us for consumables. So, like I said, we will be focusing on the sensor market, which is a $40 billion market. And this is for us the short-term goal, which lasts 2 to 3 years. And our long-term goal is eventually to build cognitive chip. We have a lot of interest from industry in the civilian security space. For instance, imagine you're traveling through the airport and nobody has to touch you or pat you down because they can just smell everything you've been in contact with for the last 48 hours. Eventually, we want to do cognition, and we've got a lot of interest from people like Cisco and Red Pine Signals, who are a strategic investor in our company. A lot of companies are trying to do this, i.e. replicating systems on silicon using neurons. But these neurons, in this case, they are silicon neurons. We use the real thing. So we have adaptability, scale, learning, and fidelity. I want you to meet my team. Without these guys, I am nothing. John Charles is somewhere in this audience, I believe. There he is. And Christian Herold is our lead neurophysiologist. Winston Mann, he's the greatest programmer you will ever come across. And of course, Hiral Gandhi, who is our community development manager. My technical advisory team is led by Alan Jones. He's the CEO of the Paul Allen Brain Institute in Seattle, which is co-founded by Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft. And of course, Ryan Benosman here in Paris and Vincenzo in London. We are rapidly growing and we are hiring. Please join us. Thank you.